City-State of the Invincible Overlord, a 1977 Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Referee's Aid or Supplement from Judges Guild. Authors Bob Bledsaw and Bill Owen, with art by Ken Simpson and Ed Perry, perhaps created the first open city sandbox for adventuring that I know of. This is how I plan on running this supplement for my players, and is my first time doing so. As I was writing the script for this video, I realized how much material it would cover and would need at least a second and possible third video of live play to cover all of my work. Therefore, this is part one of my version of City-State of the Invincible Overlord. Starting with the Overlord himself, I need to read some of the background for you to get an idea of what kind of state we're dealing with here. The City-State of the Invincible Overlord is ruled by a hereditary monarch and the Senate. There is only a 1/3 chance per year of a Senate being summoned by the Overlord. The Overlord can overrule any act of the Senate and disband it. The monarch himself is lawful evil leaning towards good. Honestly, guys, I don't know how that would work, so I went with straight up evil. There's a timeline of the city-state or chronology of the Dragon Kings that I'm not using, so I won't get into this because my players do not know anything about the Wilder Lands setting. They will be transported to the city-state via a temporal nexus from the known world, or Mystara. Information on the outer walls of the city are at the start of the book, but I'll get into that later, as this will apply to the meat of the supplement, which is the city locations and NPCs. The city map with street names and building purposes correlate to NPCs. Descriptions and stats is the majority of the supplement and will not be flushed out for you. This is your job as DM. Remember, this is only a supplement, not a module. It's only a foundation to spring forth an adventure or several from the vague text. I must add, the city-state is home to a sorted amount of different humanoids, as well as humans and demi-humans. Trolls, ogres, goblins, orcs, and kobolds can all be found within the city at various locations. Their purpose are specific, yet still dangerous to PCs. A social level, or hierarchy, should be given at the start of your game to each character. This can affect some social encounters and can heighten players' interaction with NPCs with a higher social level. This is done by rolling a 1d4 + 1 and referencing the chart. Assigning social levels instead of rolling can be done as well if the PC has a skill or is in a guild. Humanoids in general will have a very low level, but so will the characters. This can be raised or lowered during gameplay depending on actions in game. One example is a courtesan named Sidrana the Prig. She is fond of charging strangers with ogling and goes out of her way to make sure someone of a lower social level is looking. I plan on screwing over someone in my game if they pass her way. This will lead to the legal system that's not too different from our own. The courts. If you've ever had any legal issues like me, this section of the city-state should sound familiar. A bureaucratic nightmare ensues as the accused will go through a series of criminal classifications, rights, alignment adjustments, legal bribery opportunities called fees or donations, and of course the ever-present litigation trickster the accused chooses to hire. We call them lawyers now. Most crimes are made up based on social level. Even the most heinous of crimes can be litigated into oblivion with the right status and money. And then there's slavery. In the city-state, slavery is an equal opportunity or misfortune, except goblins. All other races are welcomed in the institution of slavery, and that includes the characters, especially if they haven't bribed the right judge or hired the best litigation trickster if charged with a crime. I've added that all humanoids within the city, ogres, orcs, kobolds, and trolls, are slaves to one extent. Goblins are excluded from this because of the working relationship as free labor. An agreement was made between the Overlord and Goblin Chief in the Goblin Reservation outside the walls of the city. Slavery, corruption, and an evil Overlord making deals with goblins. What's not to love about this place? Under the city-state is, of course, the dungeons. Their purpose and connection to the city is up to you as DM. A ton of maps are included in the supplement, but some work will have to be done fitting them into an adventure. These maps do not always correlate with the city above, and modifications will be needed. Due to the extent of the size of the city, making your own maps could be in order. Outside the walls, in places like the Dwarven Mines or Troll Fens, using a Wilderlands setting map will be helpful. I want to give you guys an example of how I'm using the supplement for future play in game. First, I know my players will look for lodging, food, and a reason they came. They can arrive directly inside the Temple of the Spider God location during a ceremony in which they have been observing this nexus or portal. The players will come through. Immediate encounter. After this encounter is resolved, most likely they will seek out one of those 3 things listed earlier. Outside of the temple are 2 of them, lodging and food. Inside the temple is access to the dungeons below. I will have them notice. This can give them a reason for exploring, or they can explore the city and get into the shit outside. Either way, the supplement gives you the starter tools for an organic player-made sandbox adventure. Just feed off your players' actions and frickin' wing the rest. Many years of DMing improves improv. Of course, I have various plot hooks ready, but only clues to these hooks will dangle in front of my group since I don't know which one they might follow up on. These plots are scattered around the city to make it come alive during exploration. The players will decide what they're interested in, not me. And from there, I can start to flush the adventure out in real time and have info for future sessions on what to prep for. The Wilderlands setting is huge and Judge's Guild material is out of print, so getting copies of material is difficult or expensive. I don't plan on using the setting for an extended campaign, just the city itself, but you can if you choose to. Part 2 of my video series on City State of the Invincible Overlord will be through my Discord Ko-fi membership channel, as I will have live edited versions of real gameplay to see how I use this supplement. If you're interested in being a Buy Me a Coffee member, there's a link in the description. As for now, thanks for watching, and tell me how you run the City State in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Bye guys.